Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to demystify a technology that can seriously transform your business: server virtualization. All the insights we're diving into come from a fantastic new report by Virtualization Options LLC. That's a Colorado-based research firm that really specializes in making this complex stuff clear for executives.
So let's start with the question that gets right to the heart of it. Is your IT setup just a drain on the budget, or is it actually helping you win? Way too many companies are bogged down by these expensive servers that are barely even being used. And this isn't just some tech problem, right? It's a business problem that really holds back growth.
Well, the big solution we're going to talk about today is virtualization. It is an incredibly powerful idea that completely flips the script on how we use computer hardware. The whole point is to let you do so much more with a lot less.
But what is it, really? Well, at its core, server virtualization is a technology that lets you run a bunch of different operating systems and applications all on one single physical server. And the key is, each one runs in its own little isolated world. It's kind of like having multiple completely separate computers all tucked away inside one physical box.
To really get it, let's build this idea from the ground up. It all starts with one single physical server. The actual metal box that you'd see sitting in a data center.
Okay, now here comes the secret sauce. We install a special piece of software on that server called a hypervisor. The report from Virtualization Options LLC has a great nickname for it: the traffic cop. And that's exactly what it does. It manages all the server's resources, all the processing power, the memory, the storage, and directs it all where it needs to go.
And the result of having that traffic cop in place? Well, it allows us to create and run multiple, totally independent virtual machines. Now, each of these virtual machines, or VMs as they're called, thinks it has its own dedicated hardware. But really, they're all just smartly sharing the resources of that one physical server, all thanks to our hypervisor.
So, let's get to the important part. What's the business payoff? First off, you buy way less hardware. That saves money on the boxes themselves and on power and cooling. You also get so much more out of the servers you do have. We're talking about taking utilization from maybe 15% up to 80% or more. And on top of that, your team can manage everything from one place, which makes your whole business way more flexible and ready to scale at a moment's notice.
Now, here's where things get really interesting, because this technology has kept evolving. And that's led to a really important choice that every executive needs to understand before talking to their tech teams. And that's the difference between those virtual machines we just talked about and a newer, even more lightweight approach called containers.
An analogy makes this super clear. Think of a virtual machine, a VM, as a complete standalone house. It's got its own foundation, that's the entire operating system, its own plumbing, its own utilities. It's totally self-contained. A container, on the other hand, is more like an apartment in a big building. It's super lightweight and efficient because it shares the main foundation, the host operating system, with all the other apartments.
Now, you don't have to become an expert here, but you are absolutely going to hear these names from your IT folks. In the VM world, the big players you'll hear about are VMware and Microsoft. And in the container world, you're going to hear about Docker, which is what builds the containers, and Kubernetes, which is what manages them, sometimes by the thousands.
And all this leads us to your strategic decision. Because choosing between VMs and containers, that's not just some technical detail you can pass off to the IT department. No way. This is a strategic business choice that has a direct line to your company's agility, your speed, and your budget. So here's the bottom line, the basic trade-off. Virtual machines are kind of like the reliable workhorses. They're perfect for your older, legacy applications or anything that needs extreme security and isolation. The catch? They use up more resources and are a bit slower to get going. Containers, on the other hand, they're the sprinters. They're built for new applications where you need speed and the ability to move things around easily.
And of course, we've got to talk about the cost. With commercial stuff like VMware, you're looking at a pretty straightforward paid license. Then you have open source tools like Docker, which are free to use, but as the Virtualization Options LLC report points out, you have to factor in the cost of the deep in-house expertise you'll need. And finally, you've got the cloud models from places like Azure and AWS, which give you amazing flexibility with a pay-as-you-go plan.
So at the end of the day, The big takeaway from the Virtualization Options LLC report is that this isn't about picking one winner. It's about having a toolbox and using the right tool for the right job to build a tech backbone that is more effective, more flexible, and of course, more cost-efficient, so your whole business can move faster.
Which brings us to the final question I want to leave you with. Take a hard look at your IT strategy and ask, is it just built to get you through yesterday's challenges, or is it actively preparing you for all the opportunities that are coming tomorrow? Really understanding virtualization is your first step to making sure you're ready.